good morning.
Well, good morning to you. Thank you for having me on.
How wild is it to see you back when you were 18 years old?
I loved it when I had hair.
Yes, you looked great.
I
you
looked
still do.
great.
Yeah.
I had
that TWA, a little teeny weeny afro. Look good.
I was giving Nate some competition.
Yes.
Yes, that was something.
Byron, you said that you have wanted to have a late night show since that performance that you had on Johnny Carson's show.
Oh, yeah. My mother, she, I say my mom, she got pregnant with me when she was 16. And she had me 17 days after her 17th birthday. I was born in Detroit, Michigan. The riots occurred when Martin Luther King was assassinated. And we came to L.A. for a 2-week vacation. And my mother is brilliant and beautiful. And she ended up getting into UCLA and getting her master's degree in cinema TV production. Yep.
There you go.
And she ended up getting a job there giving tours. And she couldn't afford childcare, giving tours at NBC. And I'm standing there waiting for her to get off work, and I'm watching Johnny Carson. And I said to myself, what a wonderful way to go through life, making people laugh. I was probably 14 years old at the time. Yeah. And I started doing stand-up when I was 14.
Yeah.
And ended up writing jokes for Jimmy Walker, along with David Letterman and Jay Leno. And ended up doing The Tonight Show with Johnny when I was 18.
Yeah.
And that ended up getting me the very first reality show on TV, or certainly one of the very first, Real People. Yeah. And that was a great journey. So from the moment I saw Johnny Carson 51 years ago, I said, this is what I'm going to do with my life.
That's great.
Make people laugh.
And there's a Johnny Carson tie-in with May 22nd.
Yes. So Johnny, my hero, my mentor, he stepped down Friday, May 22nd, 1992. And 34 years later, I'm stepping up this Friday, May 22nd, 2026.
So how did this deal turn out? Like, how did it work? Because you talked to Kevin Frazier about it.
Yeah.
This was something that you had to come out of pocket for. It's something you're very passionate about.
Yeah. So the networks are challenged because sports rights are very expensive.
Of course.
And, ad dollars are shifting from linear to digital. So there's some financial pressure. And I've invested about $1 billion buying ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox affiliates, and other assets like the Weather Channel. So I bought the Weather Channel about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I said to the networks, I said, look, you're spending about $150 million on Colbert and the show after Colbert. So you've decided to cancel both of them. My recommendation is that you don't spend money on that time period now that you have decided to cancel them, because at the end of the day, you're throwing me an audience at 1:30 in the morning to my CBS affiliates that I own around the country. And I'm running half-hour infomercials, spray on hair, abs in 24 hours. I said, save your money. I will put my show Comics Unleashed on. Now, I started Comics Unleashed. Well, first of all, they said this is great. Yeah, they said this is a great idea. You're going to save us 150 to 170 million.
Well, I love that you use your business mind to kind of transform the comedy world. But you just mentioned that you've written jokes for David Letterman, and you know the public criticism from Letterman, from Kimmel, from others about CBS canceling Colbert. How does that sit with you as the person who's taking on this time slot?
I think it was a very unfortunate event. I love Stephen Colbert. I'm a big fan. Once they made the decision, I said, okay, this isn't show business, this is business show. They said, they're losing lots of money. I said, here's a solution not to lose lots of money. And I think we can hold on to his audience and hopefully build on it, because it is business show, not show business. I absolutely love Colbert. And I would do anything, he doesn't need me, I would do anything to support him.
And quickly, before we run out of time, you're going to have the show is comedians discussing funny things that happen. That's
right.
And are you going to talk politics, or is it all about comedy?
No politics. That's it. You come, you laugh. We're celebrating I created the show 20 years ago. And we're about to have our 20th anniversary this fall. The 20th anniversary of Comics Unleashed, 20 years of laughter. We've had on 1,000 comedians, every shape, size, you name it.
And you say this is how you want to bring people together.
And I want to bring people together using comedy.
All right, well,
comedy
it's going to happen.
Heal it all.
It's going to happen on Friday. Byron Allen, thank you so much. Comics Unleashed with Byron Allen premieres this Friday at 11:35 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.